I made a brick film without using any Legos. Instead of using plastic bricks, I used virtual ones. This is not anything new, and has been a thing for quite some time now. Even before the LEGO movie itself, you could find CGI animations of LEGO minifigures here on early YouTube. However, over the past decade, 3D animation software has become much more accessible, and online communities have formed to make specialized tools for these videos. Nowadays, anyone can make a video just like this one, the only barrier of entry being a computer with a good graphics card. But given the price for cameras, lights, and LEGO, $300, yeah. Getting a video card might actually be the more reasonable option. I'm Cage from CubePunks, and join me as I show you the secrets of making a brick-free brick film. While Ninjago is animated like most TV shows, with characters moving and bending their limbs like any other 3D model, the standard of what people expect out of animated Legos was defined by Warner Brothers' LEGO Movie. The team has gone on record stating that the overall look was directly inspired by brick films. Brick films is a colloquial term for stop-motion animated Lego. You build a diorama, set it in front of a camera, and then you take a photo. Move the minifigure the smallest amount, take another photo. Rinse and repeat until presto, you got the movie. 2010's YouTube was full of this stuff, from high quality works like Forest Fire's Batman videos to low quality garbage like some of my attempts. See, animating with physical Lego is a lot harder than it seems. Mad respect to anyone who does it, because it's not for everyone, requiring a lot of physical dexterity, real plastic bricks on hand, and space to set up the entire shot. You know something that doesn't require any of what I just listed? Blender. Blender is a free open source 3D modeling and animation software, and I've been using it for years for my video games. They're available on cubepunks.com. Tab over, play some puzzle video games while you listen to the rest of this video. Anyways, what's great about Blender is 1, I already know how to use it, and number 2, anyone can develop specialized tools that other users can download and use via the add-on system. So as far as modeling and rigging Legos, that's already taken care of. It's just a matter of sifting through and selecting the best tools. So what are the best tools? For all your modeling needs, your best option out of any digital Lego builder is Mechabricks. You can take models in your web browser, download them, and import them directly into your Blender environment. No extra adjustments needed. The site has 2 add-ons that gives Blender compatibility with their .zmbx file format. There's a paid version that takes some extra steps to add more realistic wear and tear onto the parts, but the light version also looks great. For the time being, I'll just go with the free one because we need to save our money, because there's an essential tool later down the road that we definitely need it for. In order to get your figs moving, you need something to control the bodies, and something to control the faces. Those somethings are armatures, and binding models to armatures is called rigging. For the bodies, I use Epic Fig Rig. It provides intuitive controls and all the movement you get with a real minifigure, including popping the shoulders out of the socket. In real life, in real stop motion, people use a bit of clay for this effect. The results are great, but it can be a bit messy and temperamental. In the digital fantasy world, however, moving it around is an absolute dream. For rigging the face, you're best to go with MechaFace. It ain't free like the rest, but it's one of the best facial rigs I've ever animated with. It has separate controls to make expressions and lip syncing super easy, and pretty faithfully captures the look of the LEGO movie. The best part of Epic Fig Rig and MechaFace, however, is after you get the characters from Mechabricks to Blender, it's 1 click for the body and 1 click for the face, and boom, your guy is ready to be animated. To those unfamiliar with the regular process of character creation, the rigging step can easily take as much effort and time as modeling and texturing. There's a reason why it's a full-time job in the industry pipeline. So it's absolute blessing and dream that it's just, and we're done. So we got the tools, but how do we actually animate them? Well, see, that's the tricky part. 3D animation is designed to make everything smooth. You set your key poses, and the computer interpolates the in-between frames. It's amazing for most styles, but for some, it's too smooth. And you gotta take a few extra steps to make it slightly rougher. Brick films are one of those styles. So how do we take it from clean to dirty? What I do is I just animate the shot like normal, like I'm animating a standard 3D character. Afterwards, that's when I take an additional step. I take the smooth animation and make it only play every other frame. Standard film is at 24 frames per second. Hand animation is actually, it's rarely done at 24. It's usually done on 12. So by making the Blender animation slightly choppy, it becomes more authentic. Less is more, as they say. For the face animations, I used the standard face bones to control the expressions. There's this little box here that controls the width and the height, so I use that for the lip syncing. And how I set those poses is by following the Team 4-star method. For those unaware, Kaiser Neko made VFX breakdowns for his editing for Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Something that was done in practically every shot is remapping the original anime's 3-frame lip flaps to now match the new parody audio. What he did was, rather than listening to the audio for a reference, instead he visually followed the waveforms. Audio flat, mouth closed. Audio peak, mouth full open. Audio at the middle, take a guess. Anyways, if I listed the things I'd rather do instead of sync lips, I'd end up sounding like the intro to the angry video game guy.
He'd rather have a buffalo take a diarrhea dump in his ear.
This right here is the quickest method I've been able to find for lip syncing, and if it's good enough for 10 million people, it's good enough for me. After using these tools and this process for a weekend, I got my shots done. This was for a video my friend Calvin LF was making, and in the final version, he added some cutaway gags animated via other methods. So with all that said and done, let's take a look at the final thing. Pardon some crude language about to be coming through.
There's this age-old question of have sex with your clone, masturbation or sex, like that whole entire debate. It's a better question. Have sex with your clone, loss of virginity or no?
Yes.
Even if it's considered masturbation.
I disagree. I don't think it is masturbation in that argument because it might be a clone of you. But for example, Dolly the sheep was not the same thing as the sheep it was cloned from.
We're talking about sci-fi clone, not...
I don't give a shit. Still a separate being. When a dick goes in a pussy, it's still fucking penetration.
So if first Hydraxon had sex with second Hydraxon.
Yeah, if Hydraxon fucked Dakar, it would be sex.
He would be a registered sex offender.
He would be. You'd be sent to the pit that he would...
Not so bad if I do say so myself. Callan makes tons of LEGO animations, specifically based off of banter from his live streams. So, if what you watched made you chuckle, check him out. But, don't check him out that way. He's actually married. Comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to stay tuned in to see more in the future. I'm Cage from CubePunks, signing off.